So Nintendo has confirmed there will be no Nintendo Switch Pro in 2020. On a call with Nintendo today, the CEO of Nintendo, Shuntaro Furukawa, came out and said, "Please note that we have no plans to launch a new Nintendo Switch model during 2020. Instead, the company will focus on communicating the appeal of the current consoles and expanding their user base." Now, this is very interesting because, as we know, throughout 2019, probably the biggest rumor for the Nintendo Switch, the stuff that people talked about all the time, was a Nintendo Switch Pro coming out in 2020. There were so many different leaks out there about what processor it would have, what GPU it would have, what the body would be made out of, and just all of the upgrades we would get from the current Nintendo Switch to a Nintendo Switch Pro. And I made a video about some of these rumors saying that I don't think that the Nintendo Switch Pro is a good idea in 2020, and it looks like Nintendo is going to be going down the path of not releasing one. I know the first main concern for a lot of people about the Nintendo Switch going into the next generation of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 is getting those third-party games on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch is already underpowered. It was underpowered when it was released. It was less powerful than the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And now with these next-gen consoles coming out that look like they're going to be absolute beasts, it's going to be even more underpowered, even like way back underpowered. So the concern is that these third-party developers won't want to dumb down their games at all for the Nintendo Switch. Now, it's not just making their games less graphical, having worse resolutions and worse frame rates, it's really making the entire scopes of their games less. Because these next-gen games are going to be massive in terms of their size, and obviously they're going to be really high resolution, 4K, and they're going to have great frame rates, and the Nintendo Switch just won't be able to handle that. So not releasing a Nintendo Switch Pro could be a bit of a risky move, but I honestly don't think it's going to make too much of a dent on its sales. The Nintendo Switch Pro is already selling like hotcakes. Like, we've already seen their numbers that just came out that they've sold over 50 million. So they've already surpassed the Xbox One. It's flying off the shelves, and they continue to release many different special editions. They continue to release many great first-party games, and they're going to continue to get third-party support. They're just not going to get the exact same third-party support in the sense that you're not going to get a port, I don't think, of those next-generation games onto the Nintendo Switch. And if you were to get them, they're going to be dumbed-down versions. They're not going to be the complete exact version. They're probably going to be smaller. They're obviously going to have worse graphics and worse frame rates, but it's just going to be a completely different game, I think, on the Nintendo Switch. One of the main things about the Nintendo Switch right now is we've gotten tons of amazing third-party support and third-party support of massive games. Like having The Witcher on there, I don't think anyone in their wildest dreams would have thought in 2013 when The Witcher was released that we would be playing it on a mobile device like the Nintendo Switch in 2019. So stuff like that has been absolutely amazing, and I think we're still going to see games that came out earlier on in the current generation's life cycle coming out on the Nintendo Switch, and there's still going to be tons of people picking up this console for the portability factor alone. The Nintendo Switch has been marketed really well. It's in the market, it's well known. If you're not into the gaming industry, you go to a game store, you're going to recognize probably the Nintendo Switch as the first thing that you see, and the probably most recognizable console out there right now, even though it came out later than the PS4 and the Xbox One. Now, the next release of a Nintendo console we're going to get, I believe, will be the next generation Nintendo, and I'm thinking that's going to come around 2022. And the reason for that is because Nintendo usually operates on that 5-6 year life cycle console length, so it makes a lot of sense, especially because of where it is right now in power. They're going to have to release something within the next 2 years, and I think the Nintendo Switch 2, or whatever they want to call it, or if it's a completely different concept, will be coming out in 2022. Now, besides this news, Nintendo did announce a special edition Animal Crossing version of the Nintendo Switch, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. I don't play Animal Crossing. I've never really played it. It's not that I'm not a fan or anything. I just don't know too much about it, and I've never gotten into it, but I think this Nintendo Switch just is stunning. I mean, like, kudos to Nintendo for making such a great looking Switch, and we all know this thing is going to fly off the shelves. The thing is going to sell so much, especially because there's tons of Animal Crossing fans out there. They've been waiting for this new version of the game. Now they're going to get it alongside this amazing looking Nintendo Switch. And then finally, the last thing that was really interesting came from the PS4 Reddit thread, of all places. And basically it was a poll of asking users about what upcoming features they'd want to see for remote play. And two of the things in this list here to me are very interesting. Firstly, they asked playing remote play on the Switch, Apple TV, and Android. So just reading that really gives you a good look of the changing landscape I think we're seeing in the video game industry. And Sony has been pretty against that kind of changing landscape, like things like cross-play, cross-save, any sort of seeing any of their exclusive stuff on anywhere at their platforms. And I don't think we're going to see a big change in their mindset when it comes to their exclusive games, but I do think we're going to see slowly PlayStation content on other platforms. I think this is just the beginning with remote play. They're kind of just gauging the interest in this kind of stuff to see what their user base would say to this. And then finally, the second thing here, connecting other controllers, Xbox and mouse and keyboard. So I think, again, that's just another indication of the landscape slowly changing. Imagine playing a PlayStation game, even though it's through remote play, with an Xbox controller. I think that would be really interesting. And I think a lot of people would love to see that because the Xbox controller is an amazing controller. And whether you play PlayStation or not, there's some people who probably play PlayStation only, but actually really like the Xbox controller as well. Yeah, I just want to talk about these things. No Nintendo Switch coming in 2020, these Animal Crossing, amazing looking console, and then this poll on Reddit from the PlayStation 4 asking about upcoming features to remote play. Let me know what you guys think about any of these things in the comments below. Are you sad there's no Nintendo Switch coming in 2020? Do you like that Animal Crossing theme Nintendo Switch? And would you want to see remote play on other devices? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for this channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.